Hello, guys, and welcome to this new session. My name is Fabio, and I'm your teacher. So, this session is being recorded for you, and so you can see it at any time that you need, right? Remember that this is part of your activities at the course English 2 at the UNED University, okay? So, these sessions will give you some points according to the rubric that following in this moment. So everyone, let's get started. And today we are going to start with a game as we always do it. So here we have this game, right? Okay, 1 second. In which, what is the idea, guys? The idea is to get or to, yes, to get a little bit of vocabulary. So give me 1 second. Yes. This is about gerunds and infinitive. So you have to answer before the chronometer goes to 0. I enjoy to write or writing. Take your time to think. The right answer is writing. After a verb such as enjoy, you always have writing. I mean, ing. Okay, let's go with the second one. I hope to finishing the book tonight. The right answer is finishing the book tonight. Right? Remember that after have, you most of the cases you have to say to finish. Okay, let's go with the number three. I forgot. The right answer is calling. Right? Forget is one of the verbs that you have to use with to call. Remember that. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's continue with the activity. Question number four. He kept when the music stopped. Ready? Okay. Dancing. He kept dancing, right? Because you cannot say he kept to dance. Why? Because you don't stop give to do another action. You just mean that you continue doing the same action. Next, I dislike thinking or to think about my exams. I dislike thinking. After dislike, you have to use always ing. I dislike going, I dislike travel, I dislike whatever. It stopped. It stopped raining, guys. Very good job. Okay, thank you for that. That was a very good activity for you to practice the gerunds and the infinitive forms. Okay, everyone. So now we're going to go to the main topic of this activity, which is gerunds and infinitives. And in order to do this, we're going to start with a simple conversation. In this case, we are going to talk about some examples that you can, in which you can identify ing and the use of to. So, conversation model, read and listen to a conversation about likes and dislikes. What is the idea here, guys? We are going to read the conversation, going to try to identify the gerund and the infinitive form. So the professor will be person B. No, professor will be person A better, and you are going to be person B. So try to follow me with the conversation. So tell me something about yourself. Well, for example, what do you doing in your free time? Well, I found tennis a little boring, but I do love going to the movies. Okay, perfect. So guys, I want to write in what is this conversation about, and what do you think are the uses of the gerunds and infinitives in this conversation? Remember that the gerund it's or are the verbs or the words that ends with ing, and the infinitive is the word to, such as to know, to try, to go, to believe, which is when we use an infinitive, guys, is because you have the basic form of an action, right? So, guys, you will have 5 minutes, stop the video, and write down on the chat what is this conversation about and what are the gerunds and infinitives that you can identify. When you finish, uh, play the video again. Okay, guys, thank you for that. Very good job. I will give you my opinion about about your contributions on the chat as soon as possible. So, guys, now this conversation was talking about like two people that they were introducing each other, and well, they are asking like, "Why? What do you do free time?" Right? They're talking about hobbies. They're talking about activities that they do sometimes, right? And in order to express that, actually, they are using a gerund. In this case, they are using gerunds in adjectives. So in the right part of the image, you can say you can get positive adjectives with negative adjectives. Okay, so in this context, we have relaxing, enjoyable, and exciting. And also we have boring, depressing, annoying, and scary. Okay, guys. So what happens when you add ing to an adjective, not to an action, to an adjective? It means that you are talking about characteristic of the action of the person, of the animal, whatever, right? For example, learning English is enjoyable. Learning English is exciting, right? Um, Telling off people is annoying, right? So have that in mind, okay? If you have ng, is because you have the characteristic of a noun. So now we're going to focus on the grammar of the class. So this class is get to know what someone likes. How we're going to do this, everyone? We are going to do this through the gerunds and infinitives as direct objects, okay? So follow me and try to read. Gerunds and infinitives come from verb forms but function as noun. A gerund or an infinitive can be a direct object of a verb. So what is this text trying to telling us, guys? That you can use ing or to in order to represent a verb as a noun. I mean, not as an action conjugated with another verb, but as a noun, which can be like a predicate or can be like an object. So we're going to have some examples in order to understand, right? Gerund, an ing form of a verb. She enjoys painting. She enjoys painting. All right. In English, there are some verbs that always are followed by ing. Enjoy is one of them. So what happens, guys? When you use enjoy, it's mandatory to use ing if you have another verb after enjoy. Example, she enjoys painting. He enjoys traveling. I enjoy teaching English. You enjoy learning English, right? All you have to use ing when you use those kind of verbs. We're going to get involved into this a little bit more in a moment. Now, infinitive to plus a base form. Example, he wants to paint the kitchen yellow. In this context, guys, as you can see, we have he wants to paint. That infinitive must be there. Why? Because uh, I mean, such as there are that always has to be followed by ing. There are some verbs that have to be followed by infinitive, and want is one of them. I mean, it's very, very unusual that you see things like he wants painting. No, he wants to paint, right? He wants to try. I want to know. You want to go. We want to be. All right, guys. Always with the basic form using an infinitive. So until this point, if you have any question, please let me know through the chat and I will be answering your questions. Second characteristic, use a gerund after the following verbs. Avoid, can't stand, discuss, dislike, don't mind, enjoy, feel like, practice, quit, and suggest. Okay, guys, this is just a small list of all of the verbs that are followed by ing. What does it mean, everyone? That if you use any of these ones, please always use ing. For example, avoid. She avoids going to her house. I can't stand working late. He discusses working all the time. They like watching that series. I don't mind cooking tonight. You enjoy feeling great. I feel like working very hard every day. She practices dancing. I quit doing the same thing every day. You suggest practicing English. You can see, guys, in all my examples, I use ing, right? Pretty cool. Now, next explanation. Use an infinitive after the following verbs agree, be sure, choose, decide, accept, hope, learn, need, plan, seem, want, wish, and would like. Okay, guys, so after these verbs, you always have to use to, right? Example, you agree to go. I am sure to be. She chooses to travel. He decides to understand. We expect to be. They hope to understand. I learn to go. She needs to plan. He plans to be. We seems to get. I want to know. She wishes to be. And I would like to have. Okay, guys. As you can see again in all the teacher's examples, we are using to. And finally, we have the last like list of verbs in which all the verbs can be followed by either a gerund or infinitive. I mean, with some verbs, it's not a problem to use ing, and it's not a problem to use infinitive. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, it's amazing. Okay, guys. So here we have some examples. So let's read them. Begin, continue, hate, like, love, prefer, and start. Pretty cool. So let's make some examples. Begin to know or you begin knowing. She continues traveling. She continues to. I hate to be. I hate being. We like to go. We like going. My cousin loves cooking. My cousin loves to cook. My aunt prefers traveling. My aunt prefers to travel. It starts at 7. It starts at 7. It starts being at 7. Okay, guys, that's spectacular. Thank you very much. I want you to have in your mind that these are just some of the verbs that can be followed by gerunds, infinitives, and both of them. I mean, there are a lot of them, and I recommend you to find out more information about this through Google. Okay, excellent job. Thank you very much. Now, guys, I want you, please, before continuing this activity, that you, through the chat, through the forum, in order to get feedback, not only from the teacher, but also from your own partners, write one example with the list of verbs that must be followed by ing, another example with the list of verbs that you need to follow with to, and finally, one example with the list that they can be followed by ing or by infinitive. Only one example, not one by verb, only one example, okay? So it's gonna be 3 sentences that you must share through the chat, okay? So guys, I'll be waiting for you. You can stop the video right now. You will have 10 minutes to accomplish this objective, okay? And so when you are ready, we come back in order to finish with the last activity and the final feedback, okay? Okay, guys, for that, I hope that you have shared all your exercises through the chat. And now we are going to continue with the last activity of the day, okay? So, everyone, here we have our last exercise in order to practice in the production part what we have learned through this activity. Very cool. So, here we have grammar practice. Complete the advice about managing feelings using the verb plus, gerund, or infinitive direct objects. Okay, guys, so in this case, the text is incomplete and you have to fill it up with the gerund or an infinitive form, taking into account the highlighted words that are in blue. All right, maybe it could be negative or affirmative. However, the most important here is to use the gerunds. Okay, so we're going to have 15 minutes to do this exercise. What is the recommendation, guys? That you take a screenshot of the explanation that the professor gave, this one, and take into account all these lists of verbs or to follow it in order to do it, okay? So guys, let's go. You have 15 minutes from now. Stop the video. You are done. Please come back and I will give you the okay, guys. So that is enough time for you to develop this exercise. Now we're going to know the answers, okay? So feeling blue, then take care of yourself. Everybody feels a little sad from time to time. If you feel like, so we come back to the list and we can see that when you use don't like, feel like, you have to use ing, right? So the answer is you don't like talking about what is making you unhappy, and you dislike reading. You dislike read, I'm sorry, advice books. Here are some helpful hints. First of all, decide taking, you know. So when you say decide, you have to use to take. Decide to take care of your health. Avoid drinking. Avoid drinking. Coffee and alcohol, especially, can make you feel nervous, but exercise can reduce nervousness and calm you. If you choose to exercise, right? If you choose to exercise, I suggest going, right? I suggest to go or going. What do you think? Going. Remember, with a friend you enjoy spending time with. Be sure to eat, right? And importantly, be sure to get. When we use be sure, right, you must use always. If you would like to take a day off from work and you want to go to the movies or plan to take, all those are followed by infinitive. A walk in the park, just do it. Everybody needs to take a break sometimes. And when life gets too depressing, learn to share yourself. Right? Learn to share, right? I mean, you just learn, you have to you can be your own best friend. Oh, and a final note, everybody finds certain colors and happy. Try to wear the colors you find most cheerful. Okay, guys. I hope that you have gone and you have done it very cool. And well, of course, I'll be attending your questions. As soon as you ask me through the chat, I will be answering you. So, guys, that will be all. I hope that you have enjoyed this. And finally, could you please send me like a summary about this text? So what is the text about, and try to use gerunds and infinitives in order to grade your development on this class. Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you for that. I hope that you have learned, and of course, we'll see you in the next opportunity. Thank you. Have a good day. We'll see you later.